A very good afternoon to TLT podcasters. And as usual, we're back here this afternoon, sportically speaking. And this afternoon, I am very happy. I normally say when we start this conversation, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm always excited,
Yeah,
to receive people like you, Brati, and have these kind of conversations with them.
Yeah.
The man seated next to me here is a lot more. It means a lot more to me. He's a brother, he's a friend, he's a colleague, he's a coach, he's a mentor, etc., etc., etc. But let me give it to you, T, to introduce yourself to our podcasters. Tell them who are you and what are you about.
Brati, firstly, thank you for the opportunity to come and talk about what we do, which is a hobby. I consider cycling a hobby, but also it's a door to actually what we do. Some of the problems that we solve in communities.
Great.
I am an entrepreneur, but I consider myself a problem solver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the type of problems I solve is mostly healthcare, education, and logistics.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Now, thank you. The man's name is Thobile, Thobile Mushwana. Thobile is one man who is not fanatic, who doesn't like cycling. He's crazy about cycling. The man is mad about bicycles.
Yeah.
Why bicycles, T?
Brati, during COVID, long before COVID, I started a culture of learning a new thing every year.
Okay.
So I've taken a year where I've learned French for the whole year. I've taken a year where I've learned swimming.
Great.
I've taken a year where I've joined the triathlon, and I was even in the provincial team of the Free State triathlon.
Okay.
And but I was average in all the three disciplines in triathlon, and I decided, let me actually, and not average in the world standards. I need to clarify that.
Yeah.
Because I was already obviously competing at the provincial level, so you can assume obviously someone is quite competent if they're there. But to my standard, I felt like I need to almost not perfect, but improve and focus on one thing and get it right. And I decided cycling was the thing, and endurance sport is something that I really do enjoy.
Awesome.
Because of its discipline and because of the kind of person I am.
Okay.
I enjoy doing something with all my heart, even if we're playing for fun.
Yes.
Strongly competitive.
Awesome.
Those who obviously have cycled with me,
Yeah.
they might have seen the excitement that I bring into the cycling. But I do it with the utmost fun. It's not, it's never personal. I just always want to win. And with respect and building relationships.
Awesome.
And sometimes it transcends to doing business with those people that I cycle with.
Great. I understand, Thobile, you've spoken about yourself being a problem solver, bringing solutions, but I wouldn't let you go without allowing you to talk about dental marathon. What is dental marathon? If you just want to bring, I see you also have a toothbrush there. I'm just worried that you don't just grab me before I know and brush my teeth.
Yeah. No, Brati, Dental Marathon is a non-profit company that teaches young children in the underprivileged communities how to look after their teeth. And we give every child a free toothbrush and a toothpaste.
Awesome.
We've been very intentional on how we solve the problem of Dental Marathon. Even how our induction, when we get new staff, people that come and work for us, some that want to come and either volunteer when we do our outreaches in Africa, especially in African continents.
Okay.
We make sure that in their first week of working with us, because most people don't understand the problem from its roots.
Okay.
So they might not have never had the opportunity not to have a toothbrush.
Oh, yeah.
So we ask them for the first week of working with us not to brush their teeth for that first week from Monday to Friday.
What?
Yeah. So if you're coming to work with us,
Yeah.
we would ask you not to brush your teeth for that first week. On day 3, brati.
Yeah, you see the importance.
Now you understand the problem, but not on the surface,
Yeah.
from its roots.
Yeah.
And I remember we went to some schools in Malawi, in Chinji, and some schools in Tanzania where some of our team, when we got there, because they've never seen how broken those kids are, when I looked back, some of them were very emotional. And I saw how much touched by seeing how kids, something as simple as a toothbrush might be a big issue. And this is also a big South African issue. Sometimes the kids don't know how to brush their teeth because their brothers don't know how to brush their teeth.
These are things we take for granted, some of us.
Sometimes their brothers don't know how to brush their teeth because their parents also don't know how to brush their teeth.
Yeah.
As basic as it is, if you talk to elders, some of them, they take it very granted. So I was very fortunate that, God has blessed us with this idea that we went globally, literally globally. I think we physically been in over 16 countries. Great. And I mean, digitally, I think we've been in most countries.
I'm sure our podcasters do realize the passion that this guy brings when he talks. I mean, he has taken over. I feel they need to say, "Ho!"
Yeah.
But this is what explains passion.
Sure.
And this is what actually drives things. Without passion, nothing moves. Go on, black men, educate us.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, Brati, one of the few things, and one of the myth about cycling that we need to explain to some of the young people is that cycling, because people believe that cycling is expensive, and they think it's a sport for the elite. They think if you start cycling and you have made it. Cycling is a sport just like football.
Okay.
It's it depends where you want to compete. I mean, I always say, even with life is not, I know people are saying life is expensive now. It's the life you want to live that's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
The cycling is the same. It's at what level do you want to...
The kind of cycling
it's the kind of cycling you want
to do.
Yeah. If you want to come and compete with people like Prati, then you'll have to get... yourself, I hope I can mention on the podcast. You must get yourself a track bike, a track medal. Otherwise, because you get there, and a track, maybe I would say it's a Porsche.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to competition and performance and comfort, it matters.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I've learned. That it's actually cheaper to buy an expensive bike than to buy a less expensive bike because of the injuries that you can get.
Say that again. Say this is feel like a Smarties. I mean, like a chameleon in a box of Smarties.
Yeah.
It's cheaper too?
It's actually cheaper to buy an expensive bike than to buy a cheaper bike. Many people are in English. Many people say you're dollar wise and penny foolish.
Oh yes, I've heard that expression.
So, but what I'm trying to say, especially as men, your bike setup. I often ask some of my friends that, guys, have you done your bike setup? Make sure you're on the right bike in terms of size. Make sure you're on the right nutrition. Make sure that you you do your strength training, make sure that you rest enough, make sure you get enough sleep.
So these things also apply in cycling. You must do nutrition.
Yeah, nutrition.
You must do the right setup, rest,
Bike setup.
sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I actually, instead of just going out to learn all those things, I actually learned to make sure I get mentors or coaches.
Oh yeah.
So I am fortunate that Morne Castelli is my coach at SPC, Sports Performance Clinic.
So you don't just grab a coach, a guy in the street.
No.
The next Taban Selimela there.
No.
Corner, be my coach.
I needed someone who understands the sport at the highest level.
Okay.
Morne, every winter here, summer in Europe, sends athletes to go and compete in Europe.
Okay.
And the type of athletes that come and train at SPC, amazing athletes, very competitive.
Let's talk about cycling and the races that comes with it. Compared to running.
Yeah.
Are there enough races in South Africa, in Bloemfontein, in the Free State, for people to be active and compete and participate?
Look, races, if you talk about mountain biking, we can say there's a few compared to other provinces.
Okay.
Road races, I think we only have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I'm sorry to take you off you talk of mountain biking, you talk of road cycling.
Yeah, road.
Are these two different disciplines of cycling?
Yeah, you can take it as the other one is off-road, the other one is on tar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can take any of my bicycles, go, or on road or off-road and take anyone, or is there a difference of the different areas of cycling?
Yeah, it would be advisable that you use a mountain bike or a gravel bike on the off-road.
Okay.
And it would strongly be advisable that on the road, because of its efficiency, its light, its performance, it's much better. Okay. You sit on an aero position, you can draft much better. Okay. If you love speed like me, you can be able to push.
But I'm sure you understand that with TLT podcast, Sportically Speaking, we bring education. We want our viewers to understand and know these things. And I don't want us to assume that all our viewers know and understand these things. And I'm sorry, you could be thinking, hey, Dimanianu, Ubatla, I must give you Robert too thin, these slices. But I want you to do that for the purpose. What is a road bike? And how different is it from a mountain bike?
Yeah, look.
How do I see this is a road bike, this is a mountain bike? Yeah,
mostly the comfortable road bikes that you'll find out there. They call it a hard tail. There's a soft tail.
Okay.
You'll see this spring at the back for comfort, especially because there's too much gravel on the road. If you're doing 100 kilometer on gravel, it's actually harder, even on the body.
That corrugation.
Yeah. And then with the road, it's mostly a bike that has those small tires.
Oh,
that's the only way to explain.
Yeah, those thin one with bended bars.
Yeah, with bended bars. 85 cocoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In our days, we used to call them 85 cocoa.
Yeah, but it's the sport.
Yeah.
In local lingua.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's much easier to explain to someone who's not cycling.
All right.
But those who've just come into the sport of cycling, there is the physical part of just cycling, but there's the science part, which I think it takes up maybe about, let's say, 60 to 65%. Like what we're talking about, understanding your body as well. What is your burn rate, in terms of, let's say you're burning 1,000 calories per hour on your first hour in a race. And how do you replenish that? Having to eat while you're on the bike. That's important so that you can keep your energy or your power at a certain level. Yeah.
No, let's break up now and bring Bandile into the show. And Tammy, I don't know how ready are you to entertain. Then the two gentlemen will take the conversation, and then we'll come to talk about other aspects. Sure. Yeah.
Welcome once again today to our TLT Sports Podcast. I have a wonderful guest today, a man of many talents, but today we'll be discussing one particular sport. But before we go there, I would want our guest to introduce himself and tell us who he is and where he comes from, what makes him tick.
Great. Good afternoon. My name is Bandile Ntombela.
Yeah.
I come from a very small town in the eastern part of the Free State called Mafahlane.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the most interesting facts about Tweleng is that when I grew up back then, we had a population size of 3,000 people. So I think that gives you a decent idea of where I grew up.
Yeah.
I'm an IT practitioner. I love everything digital. Currently working in public service and in healthcare in particular. So that's what I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. I'm tempted to speak about these other things that we have not brought you here for, because you seem to be very multi-layered, but be that as it may, you recently came back from a race in KZN called Amashova. Tell us, before you get into the race, tell us about the love of cycling. Where and how did you develop the love?
Oh, lovely. It's very interesting. Earlier today, I was listening to a conversation that was had here on Sportically Speaking with a gentleman who's a runner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
interesting.
So at a point in time, I also considered myself a runner.
Okay.
So how I started running was 2 months before my wedding day, when I realized that I need to look good on those pictures. So I just started running, and that's how the bug bit. I think I spent probably 8 years doing running. I would do 10, 21, 35, never really a full marathon, because I never even joined any club.
Okay.
Wedding came, and then after the wedding, I neglected myself. Mukhabas grew, and Fast forward, I got injured, stopped running. Then I looked for the next best alternative.
Sure.
So I consider myself what you would call a novice cyclist.
Okay.
So somewhere between an amateur and a beginner, but not quite a beginner, because I've had the pleasure of riding with the likes of Thobile, Mushwana. So I'm not a beginner. So that's how I started cycling. Got my first mountain bike in February of 2022. Did a few rides with friends over weekends. And would then do spinning classes at gym, purely just to manage weight. I never really had ambitions of doing any road racing or mountain bike racing, until I actually met Team Genesis Cycling Club from Bloemfontein, and they participated in what they call the Friends' Biggest Ride, which was, I think, an 80-kilometer ride.
Yeah, it was my idea.
It was your idea. Lovely. No, I can tell. I did that. And the Kasi tour. Yeah. I think then, I started really getting introduced to the community side of cycling, where, I met like-minded cyclists, Thobile Mushwana, Kaiser Boom, Tabang Slimela, and many others. And I think from there, we started being consistent with our rides. And last year, I did my first competitive race, which was Amashova.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that on a mountain bike, 106 kilometers. It's not really advisable because Amashova is a traditional road race.
Okay.
So on a mountain bike, it's quite taxing on the body.
Okay.
Yeah, so I completed that in about 4 hours, 45 minutes. And since then, we have been extremely consistent. We've been putting in the work.
Wow.
And this year, I completed my Amashova race in 3 hours, 22 minutes. So that's a significant improvement.
Significant improvement, wow. Yeah. Before we talk about your improvement, let's talk about, you mentioned that it's a road race, but we're using a different mountain bike. What is the difference? And why would you have to work harder on a mountain bike as opposed to a road bike?
Mountain bikes are built for a more rough terrain. So if you're riding on gravel or you're riding technical routes in the middle of a forest, that's probably the most elementary way to explain it. The frames are slightly heavier because in order to handle that terrain, you've got to have a bit of weight.
Sure.
Yeah, so to put that on tar becomes difficult.
Sure.
Yeah, whereas road bikes are much lighter. They do not have all of the thrills of having, you know, shock absorbers and what have you. So they really are built for speed, because that's the intention of a road race.
Sure, because it's very competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
But you say now the second year around, your time was better. Were you still using a road bike or the same
About the bike,
mountain bike?
No, the back bit, you know, because I've graduated.
Okay.
So as I've stayed consistent with the guys, you know, I got to see that one actually has got to invest in the sport. Okay. So I bought a road bike. I fell on the first ride very badly. I broke the bike on the first day I bought it.
No, man.
Actually, yeah. So, but I know it was fixed and I used that.
How much was the bike?
It was very affordable by that standards. I bought it for 16,000 rand at Enduro Planet.
Okay.
It's an aluminium bike. They are considered a bit dated. A colleague of mine mentioned earlier that, you know, these days people use carbon fiber bodies which are much lighter and much quicker. Yeah.
So looking at the landscape in Bloemfontein per se, would you say cycling is one of the sport that you would really encourage for people to enjoy?
Absolutely. You know, Bloemfontein has got a very wealthy sporting culture, and I think over the years, you know, having had the more affluent schools like Bokwai College, over the years, you know, people that are very prominent in sport have come out of Bloemfontein. Even in cycling, in national competitions, you actually have Bloemfontein people performing in the top 5. As a matter of fact, we spoke about Amashova earlier. There's a lady that we train with. She came second in the age category. Wow. She's from Bloemfontein. Wow. Similarly, with the Cape Town cycle tour a few months ago, the gentleman that won, I think age 21, is from Bloemfontein. So it tells you that the talent it's definitely vast. It's right there. I would encourage everybody to participate, especially those from previously disadvantaged backgrounds. I do think the time is now for us to introduce at scale black people to the sport of cycling. In the Tour de France, for example, there's only one black cyclist in the entire tour. I mean, it's quite unfortunate, given that we are very strong people in our nature. Yeah. So I do think, you know, if we are quite focused, then we get support from government, and we get even a lot of support from corporate, from parents, and we build a culture around making cycling as popular as, you know, soccer in townships. In 10 years, 20 years, we will see more black people winning, you know, local and domestic and international cycling competitions, because I do think we've got the talent.
But tell me, in Bloemfontein, there are no races.
Unfortunately. And the people often cite the costs associated with setting up a road race in Bloemfontein, for example. You'd have to get all of the traffic support, get all of the licenses and what have you. So it's discouraging. The terrain is also not very good. Unfortunately, we have a lot of potholes. So you can't really, you know, it's difficult to do speed race in Bloem because the terrain is not really welcoming. But be that as it may, there's a very popular race that returned this year, the Shell V-Power. It was a 104-kilometer race, which really was just a loop. We did a loop on the same circuit about 4 times. Beautiful race, but with all of those shortcomings, a lot of space to improve. However, with mountain bike racing, which we've also done quite a few as a cycling club, Being Human and various other, On the Rest recently, beautiful. You know, the guys that own the farms would open up their farms for us to do a 120-kilometer mountain bike race. Beautiful experience. In fact, if I were to recommend anyone who is keen on getting into the sport, get an affordable mountain bike from Macro. You really do not have to go too sophisticated. Yeah. And then get onto mountain bike. I think it's a beautiful way to orientate you before you have bigger ambitions of riding with the likes of Thobile.
So what would you say are the challenges that would prohibit us from organizing a road or off-road race in Bloemfontein, for example?
The first thing, well, you've got to have money. I think that one is a foregone conclusion, because the cyclists have to be protected. So you have to get safety cars and things like that. You've got to have water points, what we call water points. So at certain intervals, we have water and some carbohydrates just to get the body going. I think that's secondly. Then thirdly, we've got to build a brand, because for people to desire to participate in any cycling race, it's got to be associated with credible associations such as the Free State Cycling Association, the South African Cycling Association, and probably also have prominent clubs in the country that are in Joburg and Cape Town wanting to participate. And I think once we build that repertoire over time, we can do it. However, we can leverage what is already being done. Earlier I spoke about the Friends Biggest Ride. In 2023, when I did that race with the guys, I think there were just over 60 cyclists.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. And I mean, that is beautiful. We just need to hone in, get partnerships, and work closer with the guys and the schools and the cycling clubs in Bloemfontein. And then we can gradually grow that. But it's got a lot of potential.
But in your experience, are people, are communities warming up to that type of sport? Because what I've heard around the corridors is that cycling is expensive, Yeah.
Look, well, it depends, right? So, so if you're an entry-level cyclist, there really is no need to go big bang. You can get a very basic mountain bike for less than 5,000 rand, and it can get you through. However, over time, as you gain the confidence and you want to enter competitiveness of the sport, then you'd have to obviously look at the next level of mountain biking, but it should still cost you less than 20,000 for a brand new mountain bike that is considered probably entry-level premium. Then, of course, it does get extravagant, all the way to 200,000, 300,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why not a car?
Well,
Yeah. No, I understand. Okay, let's go back a little bit to your improved time now. So your first year doing the competition, you do with the wrong bike. You do a decent time, 4 hours. And then the second time around, now you're on the right bicycle and you do 3 hours, which is a good time. So take us through the preparations and the improvements that you did for you to get to that level.
Yeah, no, I think the most important is settle time. I think it's just a principle of life. You want anything, you want to improve, you have to put in the effort. I put on a whole lot more effort this time around than the previous time. A good diet. I did consultations with some of the guys that we ride with. Had good nutrition. Cut out the alcohol.
So you don't drink anymore?
Even if it's just for the race. Even if it's just for the race, I cut out the alcohol. And I think it was just putting in the effort. And most importantly, I think at some point you sort of graduate from just basic riding to really understanding the performance matrices. Understanding what kilometers per hour do I need to be going at in order to finish at a particular time. How much power and strength you exert at what parts of the race. What revolutions per minute do you want to be pedaling at in order to complete the race without cramping. So I think once you understand all of those permutations, it improves your cycling.
This man speaks English. Now, brother, there's a young man there who looks up to you, who wants to do this thing. What would you say to him?
Get hold of me. I will sponsor a bike for you, and then you must come join us for our Saturday morning cycling, and that's it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, my brother.
So Thobile, tell me, I understand you come from a competition recently and you're wearing a medal.
Yeah.
Do you care to take us through what was this competition and how did you do it?
This is called Amashova. It's the old Durban Classic, and it's one of the most competitive race profile. I always enjoy competing there because I would say it's mountainous, but because the elevation is quite high. You climb for the first 12, 13 kilometers.
Wow.
And I mean climbing, going up.
Yeah.
And if when you start in a bunch, with almost like maybe, let's say 100 people. And in the beginning, we shake the bunch. We want a smaller bunch, we don't
leave Botabanselimela behind.
People on the flat, because we know that when things are fine in cycling, when it's on the flats, everyone can do, a higher speed. But when we're climbing, we know that not everyone can hold 280 watts,
Oh, yeah.
you know, for 30 minutes.
Wow. 280 watts.
Yeah, we know that only a few people can be able to.
So this race, Amashova, happens exactly on the Comrades marathon route.
Yes.
Okay, and how many kilometers is it?
106. Yeah.
106.
106,
kilometers
yes.
Of cycling.
Of cycling.
And what was your time this year?
I did 303 this year.
What?
Yeah, I did.
303?
I did 303. Yeah.
Awesome.
It was.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you.
done.
In the context of the GC, the general classification,
Yeah.
in the Free State,
Yeah.
I hold the yellow jersey.
There you go. Amen.
in
Bandile Mushwana. Thobile Mushwana, I mean.
in our team,
Yeah.
or in our teams that we have locally,
Yeah.
you know, we always want to get to a sub 3,
Yeah.
you know, but we always check what time have you done. It's almost like you know, when we're at school, after writing an exam, you want to check what your friend has
Yeah.
done. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
if you have done more than what your friend has done,
Yeah.
you almost even you're proud.
Yeah.
You're proud, and
Yeah.
and in a healthy way, like I always say.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So it's 3 hours?
3 hours, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
You missed sub
I
3 by
just-
4 minutes.
Look, I am.
See how important 4 minutes can be, eh?
Yeah.
Some of us have been blamed in certain quarters for our 4 minutes, but we will not go there.
I was.
But 4 minutes can change a life.
Yeah, I was seated in the A bunch.
Yeah.
We had some technical issues when going to the starting line.
Okay.
So I started with the BL, so with the B bunch.
Yeah.
They call it the unambitious bunch.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had to sit. So I had to sit in front of the bunch
Yeah.
most of the kilometers and
Great.
work for about 70 kilometers.
So was this your first Amashova?
No, this was my third Amashoba.
How have you done in the previous ones?
In the previous ones, Bratty, you know, I race hard.
Yeah.
In the first Amashova, it was raining and it was windy.
I was there.
Yes, it was raining and it was windy. I was going on a downhill. I think I was going 65 kilometers an hour. The wind,
5 kilometers per hour on a bicycle. Okay.
Bratty, the wind blew me from the road
Yeah.
to the valley.
Ah, nah, man. Ouch.
And I was alone because
Yeah.
I'm attacking, I'm leaving the guys at the
Yeah.
back. So I'm going down. The guys, they can't see me.
Yeah.
But there's a car that's coming. It was a white car. The guy went down to come and pull me up
Ah, yeah.
and bring me out.
Thankfully, you came out right.
Yeah. But my time was still okay-ish. It was 3 hours, 35 minutes.
Great.
And then last year, then I did about 3 hours, 20 minutes.
Okay. And this?
This year,
Yeah.
I still improved
Yeah.
a lot. I did
Yeah.
3 hours, 3 minutes, but I felt more in control this year. And because I've, you know, in cycling, everything affects everything.
Yeah.
You know, I just put in power pedals on my on my bike, and you hold certain power, certain energy throughout the year,
Yeah.
throughout the race.
race.
Yeah. I'm already thinking even in business. You know, some people, when it's holiday time, their energy goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called surging in
Yeah.
cycling. You can't go fast and then you stop. You go fast. You're taking a lot of energy.
You remind me of what I've been watching in the few recent days here, Tour de France.
Yes.
Who won Tour de France? Did you watch Tour de France? by the way?
Yeah. No, Bratty, I think every cyclist or every aspiring cyclist needs to watch Tour de France.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of competitiveness, the amount of grit, the amount of focus,
Yeah.
and the amount of teamwork you see, the amount of control as well in the bunch, and the amount of teamwork amongst teams.
Yeah.
You can see today, Team Visma could be working and controlling the bunch with the UAE and exchanging. Tomorrow there could be enemies.
For me, Team Visma is the best. I mean, they are just out of this world. I'm sure you'd agree with me.
No, I completely disagree.
Come on. Which team is the best then?
Bratty, well, they took the award for they were awarded the best team.
Okay. That got it. Team
it's-
Visma.
We look at who's holding the yellow jersey when it comes to to the Tour de France. And the yellow jersey is a person that is a leading in terms of general classification, meaning you have completed the stages with less time than everyone else.
Oh, great.
Which it was a young man called Tadej Pogačar.
Tadej Pogačar. You love Pogačar, don't you?
No, he's very, very competitive and he's very focused.
Yeah, he's the world record holder now.
Yeah,
many other races.
Yes, and but also he's able to hold. Same with success. You can't have 10 punches, good punches, on 1 week. You need to do it for 52 weeks, and if you can learn to spread that. So Tadej is able to work through all the 21 stages.
How many stages is Tour de France?
It's 21 stages.
Kilometers? 3,000.
3,000, 3,400 and something.
Yeah. Kilometers of cycling. 3,000.
But the elevation, it differs because there's some mountain stages, which some teams are stronger in mountain stages, some teams are stronger in flat stages. And in the flats, usually that's where it's the first 10 stages, which they say that's where most of the...
So you are a Pogačar man. I'm a Van der Poel man. Who is the best between the two?
Look, Pogačar is an all-rounder.
Okay.
He can climb, he can do the flats, he can
But you can't say Pogačar can climb. What happened on the final stage of Tour de France? Van Aert showed him not just, his heels, many other things that he showed him as well. I mean, that was classical performance. On the final stage of this event, your man was beaten, hands down. I mean, I saw him trying to catch up. He couldn't.
Bratty, Van Aert had taken a nap for 20 stages.
Taking a nap?
Taken a nap for the first 20 stages. We never saw him anywhere.
Yeah.
And on the last stage...
He was saving the best for last.
No. So with the Tour de France, you need to make sure that you perform in the first few stages so that it builds confidence in your team as well. So I'm very happy to see how their team has performed. But the UAE... Tadej Pogačar, sometimes he would drop all his team and was able to control and fight with Visma alone. And Visma would be 3-4 people, but he would sit on the bench and make sure that he apply the law of aerodynamics. Milan,
how do you rate Milan in terms of if Pogačar was not to be in the picture? I mean, he's a world record holder. I know.
Yeah.
If he was not to be in the picture, who do you think would win Tour de France?
I'm not a big fan of Milan. I'm a big fan of Bini.
Okay.
He won the sprint, the Skoda jersey last year.
Okay.
Milan, I just like him because he comes from a team I also support. He's a good sprinter and was able to maintain that throughout the tour.
Great.
Which I'm happy with someone who is able to pace their energy throughout. Okay. I'm not so proud of someone who can succeed over a weekend. I'm happy with someone who can succeed throughout, which for me, longevity. That's why I like endurance sports.
Yeah, our producer of the TLT podcast is a gentleman called Gavin Machuka. People don't know. I mean, TLT come out as a very well-polished product. Spotically speaking, comes out there clear. The visuals, the acoustics are out of this world. Sometimes I want to invite him just to come here into the view so that people can see who does this excellent work. Unfortunately, the one bad thing about him, when conversations get exciting as they are now, he has to remind us of this important thing called time. That time has come. And I really would have wanted us, but I think we can do that. I mean, there's a next race coming, which is double century.
It's the World Cup of cycling. If you are a cyclist, please look out for the Old Mutual Wealth double century.
I'll be there.
It's a team time trial. Bratty will be there
for the first time.
And we are so honored that he's joining our team, the Dental Marathon Pro Cycling team. Will be competing at the double century
with Bandile and Ntombela.
With Bandile and Ntombela. There's so much to do there because if you in the same race you can win 2 medals, and the other medal it's called the Charles Milner. And most teams, it's a team that finishes all together at the same time.
We will not finish podcasters once this gentleman gets to talk about cycling. But let me take this opportunity to thank you heartily with your teammate Bandile Ntombela. It was really a pleasure, gentlemen, to have you here.
Yeah.
And I hope our viewers have been able to pick up nuggets that can build into the sports of cycling, because it's a very exciting sport.
Yeah.
It is a very entertaining sport. It is a sport that builds character, that builds personality, that builds strength. I mean, if you can ride bicycles, the joy between the legs, it's something that you'll never get anywhere else. And for that reason, I wish you all the best of luck with your teammates and hope to see you again on this chair, sportically speaking.
Thank you. Last word before we go.
The last word must be his, of course.
What I wanted to say, cycling, it's a very authentic sport that the discipline can go into every other area of your life. You cannot front cycling. You cannot succeed in cycling based on knowing someone or being friends with someone or holding a specific surname. Any person that's succeeding in cycling is because they are putting in the discipline, they're putting in the hard work. That's why I'd love to invite many young people to come and join and be part of cycling, because it builds character, it builds discipline. From eating right, not taking alcohol, no one will ever have to tell you, because you have to wake up early. We start cycling at 5, at 6 a.m. It builds a lot of nuggets into your life that you can take it to your marriage, to your business, to your life, your health, your church, as a church leader, as a home cell business leader that some of us are. I have to put it out there that it's very important. Some of the qualities I get from cycling. Thank you very much.
We will meet again.
You already know, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how we come to the end today. Quite an exciting session we had.
Thank you.
I'm sure you see why we will want to have this gentleman back here soon. Sportically speaking, have a great time.
Brati!
Kindly note that our podcast is called TLT, Tabang, Lintikile and Tami Podcast, Sportically speaking. You are going to find us on all social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, that's where you will find us. For now, we want you to take effort and invite your friends, your family members, and sports fanatics to come and watch our TLT Sportcast. This is where all the information, all the entertainment, and all the knowledge you're going to find will help you enhance your sporting activity as well. TLT, Sportically speaking, that's where you'll find us.